They finally sent backup. Guess the problem was to reach the stack tops, or Boom would have left me here to be scavenged for orcs. I'm Drummer. Hope you came armed. SI's locked itself into a recursive void loop. Whatever caused it's beyond that door, together with a whole lot of ferals who came out of nowhere. Took a fat bite out of my thigh. Was all I could do to crawl in here and put the room in lockdown. You'll help out, right? They didn't tell you I was already down here. Pooh, that dirty fucking Jacqueline. Yeah, those fellows mean business. Almost got me. Don't go in there unless you're packing. Yeah, something caused the SI to implode. There's been some strange power surges down here in the deep stink lately. So it might be related. But I don't know. Answers beyond that door. Archer and the soups down here. And hungry too. SI's the sentient intelligence operating this here ultra-complex machinery. Now, we're talking the most basic forms of sentience. It's not an AGI. The way back's clear now, right? Right. I'm gonna hobble back upstairs, find cheap soup Poon, and, well, do nothing, I guess. I've lifted the lockdown. Good luck.
Diagnosing. Done. Report. Power readings erratic. Energy fluctuations affecting WMD system. Exact cause unknown. SI offline as protective measure. Current repair protocols invalid. End report.
This is Poon. We're waiting around in feces up here, and you send me reports about erratic energy fluctuations? You have one job. Get it done. I've uploaded the SI access override codes. Don't ping me again until it's done.
Alternate system access code downloaded. Installing. Done. Revising work order task list. Done. Tasks. Replace external interface circuitry. Purge memory banks. Reset defaults. End. Memory purge initiated. Purge complete. Resetting to defaults. Done. SI ready for reboot.
You fixed the problem? Good. Now, just reboot the damn thing and let's call it a day. The SI interface terminal's past that holodoor across the room. I've recovered enough to hobble out to here. Thanks, mate. Let's have a drink when you get back upstairs. I'll be at the Punk Bladder.
SI initializing. Boot sequence running. Done. Running diagnostics. Done. Reboot complete. SI operating at full capacity. System report. WMD system operational. Waste disposal fully functional. Report sent.
About time. I know I promised you a bonus, but you know how it is. Revenue is below targets, quotas haven't been met, my hands are tied, yada yada, take your pick. Now get back here! There's a lift in East Stack that's acting up. Almost forgot. If you run into a work Shylar kid named Drummer down there, you can tell that slaghead he's on an eternal shit list. Boon out.
Attention. Emergency Protocol 2 Delta 80 active. In compliance with the Arcology General Contingency Registry. Proceed via emergency tunnel bypass. Multiple failure reports incoming. 38 local malfunctions. Wireless offline. Data net contact lost. Arcology now in default shutdown mode. Suggestion. Interface with data node to obtain full SIGREP and clarification. Closest data node available in the Warrens. End suggestion. message from Stat Boss Poon. To all indents entering Cluster 13, behave, or I'll have you fucking recycled. That is all.
Seen your type before.
It's more like insurance.
Or you could just get out of the way.
Ready to run?
Spooky action at a distance. Huh, that's for sure.
There's no need to keep looking like you do.
This is The Feed, with your very own Grateful Abbott. The Ascent Group went into immediate default after the corporate AI filed for bankruptcy one subcycle ago. All attempts to contact the corporate board has failed, and we've yet to receive an official statement. The Ascent Group arcology on Veles has shut down, with some claiming it's gone into default mode. If this is true, without AG security, corporate grab teams will already be moving in. All the luck to them. As I always say, one being's ill fortune is another's opportunity. Stay tuned.
To all hammers in Cluster 13, this is Poon. As you've probably noticed, our dear arcology just defaulted. I don't give a feral's ass about the whys and wherefores. Business will go on as usual. That means no panic, no whining, and certainly no slacking off. Business as usual. Understood? Poon. Poon here. Where the fuck have you been? Forget about that ESAC lift. We got much bigger problems. Come find me at the Serenity Boss.
Look, when we need a company rally or inspirational calf mugs to hand out, I'll let you know, okay?
Why the hostility, Poon? All I'm saying is that we should stick together in a time of crisis, and that we're here to help in any way we can.
And all I'm saying is that I don't see how you can help right now. The Ascent Group is gone, and the board has gone quieter than a null-spaced Carlin. Maybe you people should start looking to what's next.
The Ascent Group is not just the board, Poon. It's us. All of us. United around an idea. The corporation can only collapse if we allow it.
Whatever. An idea won't feed my indents or provide security when Corpsec gets wise to the fact that their paychecks aren't coming. Now, you'll have to excuse me. My next meeting just arrived.
Fine. We'll talk again later, Poon.
Send their idiots. Oh, look at you. Positively bristling with ambition and a taste for mindless violence. Just what I need. My PA before was pure bullshit. This is a crisis supernova. The Ascent Group has collapsed. Our ecology's gone into default, and we've lost contact with the board. Not that I expect those sleek suits to be able to unfuck this situation in any meaningful way. No one is getting paid, and Corpsec will soon realize that they're risking their necks for exactly 0 Eucreds. We can expect security to implode before the cycle is over. The Ascent Group AGI suddenly went quiet. That's never happened before. So the market went apeshit and forced the Ascent Group into immediate bankruptcy. Now all local SIs are operating independently. Hundreds of optimizer protocols fighting for the safe scraps. We're gonna see nutrient and energy shortages within just a few cycles. Thousands of Hebbers here will suffer. Am I painting a bleak enough picture for you? We're mutually dependent on the neighboring clusters for food, energy, and other essentials. It pains me to say this, but it looks like we're gonna have to cooperate our way out of this epic mess. The other stack bosses have agreed to meet. They're a bunch of incompetent hard-noses, so don't get your hopes up. But I don't see any other options, and my imp won't shut up about this being the only way forward. I want you to handle security for the moot. In a crisis like this, you can always expect to see a few witless wanderers stepping up to bat. The Turbo Vipers are already trying on a protection racket so stupid it defies comprehension. Questions? Shoot. They're threatening to attack the meeting, and I want you there if they do. The latest cream of the scum crop out there. With everything going on, they're seeing an opportunity to strengthen their stock, but I won't allow that on my watch. Can't give in to the imbeciles. Yeah, so with the corporation gone kaput, ownership of the arcology is in flux. The other corporations will be sending in CGTs to grab what they can. We're like an AUG-6 stiff right now, soon to be hacked up for parts by a bunch of greedy grafters. All payouts, including yours I might add, have been halted due to the bankruptcy. But I'm hoping it'll be a little while before CorpSec realize the magnitude of this disaster and leave their posts. It's all very clever. No single cluster is self-sufficient. You're smart enough to figure out why. If I can reach an agreement with the other bosses, I believe we have a fair shot at getting through this. Considering the way things have been falling apart these last few months, we should have seen it coming. But yeah, this is the largest corporate collapse yet on Veles. Uncharted territory. I expect they're busy ejecting themselves from this mess and assigning blame to everyone else. First they run the entire corporation into the ground, and then they shut themselves into the sky view levels. But I guess that's what you can expect from a bunch of greedy foreigners. All right, enough questions. First, I need you to go to the grinder and scout ahead. Oh, and you'll need to gear up. Won't just be facing deep sink ferals anymore. Talk to my man Clobber. He'll set you up. Feel free to flatline any slag-headed Turbo Viper just looking at you sideways. Here? Good. Let's get this show on the road!
You must be Poon's latest pet project. He warned me you'd stop by. Looks like you picked that gear from a Warren's garbage dump and upgrade his death in order. Here, I've sent you markers for a grafter, an armor guy, and a weapons dealer. Check in with them and get some polish on your frame. This is your lucky fucking day, because I'm also gonna give you a handout. A little something to get you started. And please try to exceed my non-existent expectations by not spending it all on snooze and crime-down bets. Off you go.
Some stim brutes out there carry bounties. Plenty of Eucreds to make if you got the stomach for it. Come to me if you want to collect.
Anything does lead to excellence.
Look no further than your wetware needs. I consider myself an artist, and your flesh is my canvas. Wetware.
Chrome itch, data burn, neural pains, general anxiety, impotence. Whatever it is, our palms can surely help. Here are stims and salves to satisfy every need. My, what a formidable specimen you are. If there's nothing Hans can offer you, maybe there is something you can do for Hans. Interested? Wonderful. Hans will proceed to explain the situation. You see, Hans's signature ramrod bomb has been flying off the shelves lately. It seems especially popular with the jackals. Now the stock is running low, and Hans lacks enough ingredients to make more. One particular item is rather hard to come by. It's feral testicles, you see. They're bulbs, if you will. They possess extraordinary potency due to the tough environments they grow in. The pharaohs in question are unlikely to part with their vitals willingly, so Hans expects you will have to get your hands dirty. But Hans will make it worthwhile for you. Return when you've gathered enough.
Surveillance reports indicate an aggressive turbo viper expansion closing across your 13. Proceed with caution.
No entry.
That ascender I was talking to, Celine, one of their rising stars. They think this thing will blow over and the Ascent group will be restored. Joke's on them.
Approaching Tranquility Park, aka Grinder. 1,387 beings, 36% of which are indent, and the rest non-reg habitators. Violent incidents, including murders, registered at an all-time high last quarter. Caution. Area contested by the Turbo Vipers and Liquid Gangs. Suggest threat management through the use of overwhelming lethal force.
The Grinder is no fucking playground. Corpsec rarely bothers, and the place is ruled by creeps and assholes, all of them armed to the teeth. Whom talking? We just learned that the Turbo Vipers are going all in. They've sent a bunch of amped-up stim brutes and their leash-holding fulcrons into the Grinder to disrupt the moot. I'm counting on you. Turbos have been neutered? Excellent! You probably boosted our overall IQ average while you were at it. Come join me at the moot. I see you there already. Hold the fort. We'll be arriving shortly.
Success. The other bosses are on board. We'll begin coordinating our cluster SIs and redistributing vital supplies in a few hours. We still have plenty of work to do, but this is as good a start as we could hope for. But who the flaming fuck were those amped-up flatliners? Damn it! I need more problems about as much as I need a rectum on my forehead. And yes, I know there are a few evolutionary dead ends like that around, but you get my drift. Someone's pinging me. Hang on. Pony here. Yes. Yes. No. Fuck. That was Admin Denker. While we were splooging all over ourselves here, someone went and grabbed a whole bunch of habbers. My habbers! Seems the attack here was a diversion for the kidnapping. I gotta get back. Don't stray too far! I have a feeling we'll need your help again soon.
Poon here. We're in deep shit. Figuratively this time. I need you and your taste for murder and mayhem to come and see me at the Serenity. Stat.
Suggestion. Navigation data indicates an interlink station nearby. Utilize this for speedy transportation to Cluster 13, located north of present location.
No ferals here, unfortunately. Hans would try breed them if he did. The Corpsec would have his hide.
You there. Yes, you. The one standing around gawking awkwardly at all the magnificence you see before you. Yes, it's true. We're on the verge of a breakthrough here. One of the biggest ever in the history of science. Dieselcheck's my name. And what we're trying to do here is, well, it has to do with teleportation, you see. I have a new field generator here, and what it does is rather than teleport a person or object, well, it just keeps them in that in-between state instead. Rattles their molecules, so to speak. Work enough rattling and, well, kablooey. Of course, we do need just a tad bit more information here before the tech is perfected and ready for sale. So what do you say? Can you head on out into the field, get us a little bit more data? Well, that's just fantastic, just fantastic. What we need, specifically, is some real-time combat data from out and about. Just get on out there, put some baddies into stasis, and just keep on keeping on, even after stasis has been achieved. I mean, really just rev it up and see what happens. The more pressure you apply, the better. We need to push it to the utmost extremes here. Of course, there's a very good chance that our subjects may not survive this data collection process. But hey, it's all in the name of science, right? Well, that and money, that helps too. So you're ready to do your part? Go down in history as an accomplice to my genius? Just head back this way once you've had enough test subjects, and we'll see what we can do.
This is The Feed, with yours truly, Grateful Abbott. The wildly popular quiche rhapsodizer, True Talk, is embarking today on Here Intercom Tour, visiting 20 systems in 20 cycles. Here entourage of nearly 2,000 frenzied groupies of all species has been given a ship of their own, aptly named the Fornicatori. It will surely be the party of the century on board, which incidentally is how long the tour will last in real time. The Feed will be giving out 5 berths on the Fornicatori to lucky contestants. Visit our sphere for more information. All the usual disclaimers apply. It always warms my tender heart when I hear of people overcoming great odds during a crisis. And today, I have just such a story to share with you. Word has reached the Feed of a recent meeting between stack bosses in the Warrens, that colorful and rustic Lohab sector in the Upper Deep. The carnage was a joy to behold for fans of the intense sport, as 3 teams saw their contestants completely obliterated. We've also learned that the Rojan in Corp Zone has gracefully offered aid and support to anyone in need during these trying times. They're giving away free starter chips at the Golden Satori, and even free spins for a select few. And they've even gave out blankets to a group of destitute Lohabbers. How thoughtful. It's truly encouraging when such a respected organization stoops to help the little people. It's like I always say, every dark cloud comes with a silver lining.
I didn't think I'd be showering in urine ever again after you fixed the WMD, but it seems the golden showers won't dry up anytime soon. The kidnappers didn't just grab any random habber when they came reading. Instead, they managed to kidnap almost every key alpha and beta level indent in the cluster. The very people we need to keep this place running. CorpSec disintegrating, I currently have 0 access to the security systems. So I don't have a fucking clue where our hammers are, who took them, or why!
If someone wanted to cripple our cluster, they couldn't have done a better job.
I need you to get these people back. Not for their sake, but for ours.
You're gonna need help infiltrating the security systems, and I might have a lead for you.
There's a quiche. Yeah, I know. But he's a mean icecracker, a real net sage.
I've employed his services once before. Unfortunately, it didn't end well, and I might have screwed him over. A bit.
Needless to say, he's not accepting my pings, so it's gonna have to be face-to-face, and I'm done leaving the office.
I've learned that he set up shop in Black Lake Towers, where they had the flood.
That's what I have. Cost me a good sum. What more do you want to know? What don't you already know? They're the most powerful syndicate in the Common, and definitely here on Veles. I wouldn't go up against them if we had choice, but we don't. And if we don't get those hammers back, our cluster is doomed. There are countless narcissistic bullshitters like me, and even more brawny quiet types like you around. We're expendable. But the alphas and betas are the hydroponic overseers, the medicals, the code jockeys, the reactor bosses and the like. Without them, we're voided, to put it mildly. Unless you happen to know how to operate a Class 4 tokamak or regulate protein growth. Yeah, I know it's abandoned. And no, I don't know how to find it. That's why I'm asking you to do it, fuckbrains! We need those people back pronto. Go get them.
And off you go.
That quiche might be officially off-grid, but you can bet your sweet ass he's still hooked up to the tangle somehow.
Entering Black Lake Towers. 00 sentience. Constant. Sector empty. Nothing to see. Move along.
This is Poon. When you find the quiche, it's better for everyone if you don't bring up ancient fucking history. Keep the peace.
Not now. I've almost cracked the distributed cognition. Whoa! Where did you come from? No, wait, who the hell are you? And how did you find us? This is supposed to be a secret hideout. I knew I should have gotten those turrets online long ago. Then, you'd be a red smear on the floor. Never rely on secrecy alone. And again, I'm obviously still alive, so what do you want? Why are you here? Poon sent you. Yeah, I know that faithless cred stacker all too well. What does he need? Yeah, without those havers, you're in deep trouble. I got 2 nestkin in 13. Poon must know that, the bastard. All right, I'll help, but this is not for Poon. What do you need? Yeah, I'm already logged on to the surveillance server. Let's have a look-see. Seems a whole bunch of invalid tags passed a scan gate at the Cosmodrome a few subcycles ago. The biometrics match your havers, but... So I can't say where your havers are now. If Obi took them, you're gonna have to ask them why yourself. They've requisitioned an old Hydracat branch office up by the node, way above where we're at now, like whole other tier. Anything else? I won't bore you with the quiche reproduction process, okay? Nestkin are like sapien DNA relatives. Sort of. Well, I've gathered some premium net jockeys here for a little project. We were supposed to be hidden here. Wonder how Poon got his intel. Call me Noghead. My real name doesn't translate well. I know everybody treats OV like the big, scary boogeyman, but they're just doing business like everyone else. They could be talked to, just don't threaten them. Look, you'll probably need my help again before this is over. I passed your imp into my comms. Ping if you need me. And just to be clear, I'm doing this for Cluster 13, and Poon will owe me when we're done. Oh, and I bumped up your permissions with the arcology reg, so you can access the node. Moving up in the world.
Restoration. Atmospheric readings compare favorably with those from further below. Probable correlation with radically increased life expectancy for all habitators on these levels.
This is the feed with yours truly, have it. The wildly popular quiche rhapsodizer, True Talk, is embarking today on Here Intercom Tour, visiting 20 systems in 20 cycles. Here entourage of nearly 2,000 frenzied groupies of all species has been given a ship of their own, aptly named the Fornicatori. It will surely be the party of the century on board, which incidentally is how long the tour will last in real time. The feed will be giving out 5 berths on the Fornicatori to lucky contestants. Visit our sphere for more information. All the usual disclaimers apply. It always warms my tender heart when I hear of people overcoming great odds during a crisis. And today, I have just such a story to share with you. Word has reached the feed of a recent meeting between stack bosses in the Warrens, that colorful and rustic Lohab sector in the Upper Deep. The carnage was a joy to behold for fans of the intense sport, as 3 teams saw their contestants completely obliterated. We've also learned that the Rojan in Corp Zone has gracefully offered aid and support to anyone in need during these trying times. They're giving away free starter chips at the Golden Satori, and even free spins for a select few. And they've even gave out blankets to a group of destitute low-havers. It's truly encouraging when such a respected organization stoops to help the little people. It's like I always say, every dark cloud comes with a silver lining.
Poon here. Did you find him? Is he gonna help? I'm getting a fucking ass rash from sitting around and waiting here.
Yeah, I'm gonna help. And you're gonna owe me a huge one, you short-changing son of a bitch. Especially after what you pulled last time.
Don't be a crybaby. So I screwed you over. Happens all the time. Can you locate my missing indents or not?
Don't worry your cheap ass, Poon. We'll find him.
Yeah. I'll leave you 2 lovebirds to it.
I see potential.
You about to cause static? If you got any bounties, I'll take them.
Light and agile, or heavy and robust?
It's a fucking mystery. Onyx Floyd is a multi-stellar syndicate, and we're Hordian sperm to them. I'd love to know his pain.
Like you can hold your own. You mind pitching in for a sec? You could really use the help. Perfect! See, here's what's going on. We actually have a prison break in progress in the club. Yeah, that's right. The inmates are getting all uppity, and they finally found a way out. A few have already gotten out, but it could be many, many more. We gotta stop them, of course, but here's the catch. They've got access to a big old fucking mech as well. Shouldn't be too much to handle for a tough guy like you, though, no? So yeah, we need you to head to the prison and stop the breakout. Don't worry, I'll make it worth your while. Big time. That is, assuming you manage to get back here in one piece.
The node takes its name from the central node tree, facilitating thousands of transactions every hour.
The node is a huge mid-tier commerce hub. Don't get caught up in the deal-making. Focus on the job.
Oh, fresh clay.
I'm 438 hung, and you're in a timer. Attacked a meeting. I have no idea what you're jabbering about, but that ugly speech hole of yours would be much improved by staying closed. So you've lost a few habbers. How does this concern Onyx Void exactly? Careful where you point those digits, indent. But as it happens, you're in luck. I know where your precious habbers are. but there's an inquiry fee. Then I have a proposal. Do a small job for me, and you'll get the information in return. One of my operatives is being held by the Rogin. Of course not. He's spoilt goods. Flatline both him and the Rogin holding him. No witnesses. Onyx Void always cleans up. The operative is presently being entertained at a Rogin Oyabun's penthouse in the top of the East Gemini Tower. Expect a warm reception. I want my operative's tag as proof of the termination. Do not fail me. Onyx Void always cleans up.
If you aggro Onyx Void on us, I'm gonna hang you out to dry. Gotta protect the cluster. You understand, I'm sure. After all, we are poking the biggest fucking crime syndicate in the con. Let's not be your fried idiots about it.
You can't have him!
Look, you can pawn your organs there, Flesh. Looks like a good deal.
You return, and I see you brought the tag. I did not expect you to live. This is mildly impressive. The Malhorse Gel Corporation has your indents. The carrier they're holding him on is scheduled for departure in a few cycles. Check the Cosmodrome. Since MG Corp are in breach, they are no longer enjoying our protection.
Strange OV decided to grab habbers from the low tiers, even if they're alphas. What do they want with them? Then again, everything's kind of fucked right now. The Ascent Group AGI going quiet, that just shouldn't happen. The Tangle's all abuzz with conspiracy theories. I've been a bit too focused on our little project in here. It actually feels quite good to reconnect to the world for a bit.
Ready to jack in?
You're pulling it off.
Please disperse, or face lethal repercussions.
Fuel valve regulator. Access denied. Contacting Noghead. Contact established.
What? You want me to stop the ship? Let's see. Those fueling protocols got some thick ice, but nothing I can't handle. Oops. Looks like I overdid it a bit. That fuel type is pretty volatile. Anyway, the ship is stranded. Enjoy.
Suggestion. Access cell controls through local security panel. Interfacing with ship security. Done. Initiating icebreaker. Access complete. Cells unlocked.
This is Boone. I see you found our lost habbers. Well done. I hope you made those Malhorse Gel fucks pay. Onyx Void shares some of the blame, but I want to live to be old and fat, so let's not take them on just now. I tried reaching out to the MG Minion for an explanation, but he's locked himself onto the bridge of that transport and won't answer my pings. Go grab him for me, will ya? Poon out.
Analyzing. Lock mechanism set to boarding defense mode. Hatch cannot be opened from outside. Suggestion: find other means to breach hatch. Report: contaminated gases vented into bridge compartment. Toxicity levels rising.
What the hell? Are you trying to kill me? What's the suit? Hey! Let go of me! I'll pay you. Do you know who I am?
Ah, welcome. If you'd have just accepted my call, we wouldn't have had to drag your ass all the way here.
Go fuck yourself.
Come now. What was Melhurst Guild planning to do with those indents?
I don't have anything to say to you. Talk to my superiors.
Oh, I'm sorry. You seem to have misunderstood your situation. You see, you're officially listed as deceased in a refueling accident at the docks. I can keep you here till you talk, or flatline from exposure. Whatever you prefer.
Leave him here. I'll update you later.
Boone speaking. Me and the rep are done. Gotta take some time to clean the upholstery. Now get your ass back here. I got work.
What can I get you? What's this piece of junk? Wait, my dad gave this to you? Wait, what's the engraving say? Iris? He named it after me? Fuck. All right, I'll take it. And I guess you'll want a finder's fee. This is what I can spare. Or I can trade you for this holdout piece. Never used it. Now please go. I need a break.
This is the feed, and I'm forever your grateful abbot. News reached the feed this cycle regarding the Lodestar Walco arcology. Following a huge bump in corrosion deaths among indents, it's been revealed that Lodestar was adding performance enhancers to its freshwater supplies. Lodestar has promised to scale back the dosage following massive indent complaints and even violent protests. I'm not sure what they were complaining about. If only the Ascent group was still around to spike our water. These are intense times for the arcology, and I know many in my faithful audience are struggling. I'm therefore happy to report about the We Shall Overcome Ascender initiative to help ailing indents lacking sustenance or habitation. The Ascenders, these proud former employees of the Ascent Group, are truly adhering to the great corporate values of team, passion, and commitment. They've always put the needs of the Ascent Group before their own, and now they extend this pledge to all fellow indents in the arcology. If you're struggling out there while we await the outcome of this corporate turmoil, you should contact your nearest Ascender Club office. They will surely provide what help they can. It's like I always say, the worst of times brings out the best in people.
So, here's the deal. The AGI is still quiet, amazing as that is. Rival CGTs are already coming into the arcology to pick the bones clean. We have a chance of true independence here, but we have to act faster than an amped-out feral before some enterprising CGT gobbles up our cluster, and our indent contracts with it. One of the bulbheads you rescued from Malhorst Gelb claims we can funnel energy covertly from the old tokamak down in the deep stink. He says we have a small window of opportunity to do this now, before the reactor is appropriated by some other corporation. I'd rather control the entire tokamak, but we have nowhere near the know-how or equipment to do a property grab like that. You need an AGI for that kind of thing. But if you do this right, the new owners won't notice our little arrangement. I'm not fluent in tech, lab, but enough to say that this will be a tricky feral to tame. The bulbhead spoke of installing a double redundancy board through the tokamak ice, soft and hardware. So, you'll have to do this on site. The new owners can't know about the board, or they'll shut it down faster than nug orgasms. We can then use that energy to bolster our automated security systems. I already have a code jockey reworking the schemata to allow for that. And let the CGTs come. When the turrets are done, we'll scavenge their stiffs for orcs. Now the bulkhead is just that, completely worthless for anything outside a lab. I want you to handle the practical side of things. Get that tokamak working for us. I've uploaded the particulars to your app. Questions? Yeah, thick enough to fry your neurons solid if you ain't careful. And no wonder you don't want it to be easy to mess with a fucking fusion reactor. CorpSec has always relied on automated security systems to keep order. We're gonna repurpose some of it for our own protection. Those turrets pack a serious punch, but we'll need more energy for it to work. That NG rep talked in the end. They all do. We're still missing 5 indents. All of them worked in the XMAT lab in the ResDev zone. Could be they just up and disappeared at the same time. I don't believe in coincidences, but what can we do? Can't save them all. If we can just prevent the CGTs from grabbing our stack cluster for long enough, our indent contracts will be voided. That's true independence. Never heard of a corporate grab team? They're specialists, elite. Whenever a corporation collapses, they go in and grab property for their employers. I have no clue how it's done. Wish we could do it ourselves. But you know what wishes are like, right? Right? Yup. Same trusty old RBM-5 fusion tokamak which keeps our stacks lit at night. I know you're a sewage specialist, but that makes you perfect for this job. It's all about valves and pipes and stubborn SIs. Yeah, you know, fighting ferals, avoiding gun turrets, pushing buttons, possibly exposing yourself to lethal doses of radiation. Practical. Good. Let's get it done!
Boon energy siphoning. Task list. Boost cooling system. Raise energy output. Override distribution hub. Hide modifications from the tokamak SI. Rejoice. Boon note. End task list. Auxiliary heat exchanger. Online. Next task. Reconfigure torus containment to raise energy output. Energy output increased by 0.000325%. Next task. Override power distribution. Attention. Hub has been previously altered. User unknown. Initiating alternate bypass. Bypass done.
Phone here. That some power surge you just sent our way made me tingle all over. The security systems are online and working for us. Excellent job. Now cover the whole thing up and get back here so we can celebrate. Remember, any new owners cannot know about this.
Ready to install mod patch.
refreshing. You should stand down, Indent. We don't want to disintegrate you just yet. Were you trying to create a supernova just now? Because that's what your uninformed meddling with the Taurus containment field would have led to. That your stack boss asked you to do this only confirms his incompetence. Luckily, we are in control now. This tokamak is now the property of Y-Corp. So is your stack cluster, and so is every indent registered there, including yourself. Your indentured contracts have been transferred and renewed in accordance with existing agreements and standard protocol, etc., etc. In short, you belong to us for what remains of your pitiful life expectancy. However, while you have demonstrated an alarming lack of cognitive skills, you have also shown an aptitude for applying lethal solutions to conflicted situations. This might be of some use to Y-Corp. So, we wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment. A trial of sorts. Success will raise you above the filthy mass of regular indents and provide you with certain perks. And you'll be given a chance at earning your freedom. We will set up an operations center in Cluster 13. Come find us there.
Message waiting. Message from sender Kira. Stored and awaiting playback.
Indent, we're waiting for you. Don't test our patience.
Oh, you have returned. Hans is beside himself with excitement, and you have gathered the specimens needed. Wonderful. Hans promised to pay, and here it is. A booster of health and well-being to relieve your daily aches and sufferings. Worth more than any measly sum of Eucrets. Thank you again, and please stop by anytime, should you have need of anything else.
Finally. Y-Corp is looking to expand its property appropriation division, and you fit the profile. Barely. If you complete our test assignment, you'll be given a position with one of our corporate grab teams, as the indents call them. I detest the term, but it does describe the work we do. We seek out contested property and transfer ownership of it to Y-Corp. Sometimes a competing team is after the same property. Then we flatline them. It can be quite satisfying. There are more perks. As a Y-Corp CGT operative, you'll have access to select gear, and you'll be covered by a premium Y-Corp insurance policy. But first, you have to complete this assignment. We want the complete Ascent Group operations history. It is stored in one of their data vaults. You must locate the correct vault, re-imprint the Vault SI, and upload the desired data to our AGI. Complete this assignment, and you'll get a shot at earning your freedom further down the line. Your success will depend on your brawn trumping your inferior sapiens brain. We expect this will be a considerable challenge. Our comms records show you've already collaborated with that notorious ice fiend Noghead. We suggest enlisting his aid again. Questions? When a corporation defaults on Veles, there is no regulatory body governing its demise. All property belonging to that corporation can, from that moment, be appropriated or taken by any other corporation with the capabilities to do so. We won't burden you with the technicalities, but in short, the process involves imprinting the property governing SI so that it answers only to the new owner. Like the other multi-corps, Y-Corp is looking to rapidly expand its holdings within this arcology. Acquiring the Ascent Group operations history will help us prioritize what property to target next. The Ascent Group also rented vault space to other corporations on Veles. Expect a slew of auto-defenses operating at maximum lethality, as well as rival CGTs looking to protect their corporate data. For the time being, Y-Corp intends to keep a low profile, so you will have to gain access on your own. Yes, SI imprinting is an extremely delicate procedure. Your imp will be bonded to our AGI, which will perform the actual imprinting. We require you to jack in directly to the SI on site, and our AGI will do the rest. And before you ask, yes, Y-Corp has its own AGI. It's a Gen 12, and yes, your access to it will be severely restricted. Y-Corp has certain long-term objectives. If you are instrumental in achieving those objectives, we will offer to void your indentured contract and register you as an independent contractor. You'll be a free being, as much as anyone is free on Veles. Very well. We have taken the liberty of bonding your imp with our AGI through the local data nodes. You should expect a slight performance boost. Now get going.
I like Noghead. He wrangles clean code, crisp and immediate. Like death. Destination Destination marked. Innocent deaths are undesirable. We do not want to draw unnecessary attention. The true cause of the Black Lake Tower flooding has never been determined. Suspects range from an intoxicated indent to a faulty flow valve to a high-level corruption cover-up.
You again. What does Poon want now? Oh, hang on. Who the fuck is Y Corp? They want you to appropriate an Ascent Group data vault. I don't do appropriations, pal. I'm pretty damn good, but that SI would nerf ride my ass before I even got past the outer ice layer. They have their own AGI? I'm not sure you understand, pal. Only the largest multi-corps have their own AGIs, and you tell me your imp is fucking bonded with one? Let me see. Wow. That's some beautiful code. There's a cold elegance to AGI where that us orgs can only dream of achieving. But then I don't get what you need me for. Their AGI can crack open a vault like a Ponto nut. Why don't you have it do that in the imprinting? Both. Y Corp have their own AGI, and yet they want to keep a low profile? Well, whatever. I can get you in all right, but seeing as this is a corporate job, I won't do it pro bono. Again, I gotta admit, I'm real curious about what's going on here. Might be worth helping out just to get some insight, and maybe even link to that AGI at some point. Okay. Let's just say you'll owe me for this one. I've revived my comm tag on your imp so we can stay in touch. Best get cracking, my friend. I'm gonna do a deep trawl for anything Y Corp related in the meantime. I wanna know who we're dealing with. Noghead here. I can get the front door open for you, no problem, but the security system is more entangled than a Carlin nerve bundle. You're gonna have to cut through the ice and disable the whole thing locally. Or blow it up, I guess. Yeah, that would work too.
Incalculable amounts of data is humbling. I would never want to be the algorithm having to sort through this deluge of information.
I've located the right data cluster, but not the exact vault. Again, you're gonna have to do that locally. Shouldn't be a problem with all that fancy imp software you got now. I'll keep an eye on things from here.
Attention. Incoming high-priority message from Kira.
Indent. The Ascender presence complicates the situation, but we still want you to proceed. Terminate all opposition with extreme prejudice. We will look into how they gained access.
That's a Class 3 multi-capacitor HPM emitter. It can fry all binary systems in the area, myself included. You're monster flesh, so you'll barely notice a thing. Please destroy it.
Predators fanatic fucks get their hands on a Class 3 emitter. Someone must be using them for their own ends. Proceed to the vault.
Querying vault index for operations data. The operations data vault identified. I am unlocking the vault access hatch now. Such are my powers.
Well done, Indent. Now appropriate the vault itself. Jack into the vault SI, and our AGI will do the rest through your imp.
SI direct link established. AGI bond verified. Surge. Initiating imprint procedure.
Knockhead here. I see other CGTs moving in on your position. The bastards are just cruising through now that we cleared the way. Better watch your six, pal.
Indent, if you lose that vault, I expect you to self-terminate on the spot and spare me the effort. Clear?
SI imprinting done. Property appropriation process completed. Ownership now registered to Y Corp CIC 180403-4.
Excellent. We now own the vault. That should give us full access to the records. Now upload the full data package to the Y-Corp desyncs.
Accessing vault data.
That data pack is gonna be crazy large, buddy, even with compression. Your imp doesn't have enough bandwidth for a remote transfer. I'll set up access to the Network Operations Center while the package is being compiled.
While we appreciate the assistance, Knobhead, you should be aware that we are monitoring your every action. Don't get any ideas.
Far be it from me to act on any ideas where there's a foreign involved. Just helping out my pal, as promised.
Good.
Interfacing with cluster NOC.
Hang on while I cut through the ice so that your Y-Corp friends can connect to the NOC. There, done.
We have access. Downloading the package now. The operations data has significant gaps, but our AGI was able to cross-reference it with the information we already had, and the findings are interesting. Our board will want to discuss them before deciding how to proceed. In the meantime, you passed the test. We reluctantly welcome you to our Property Appropriation Division. Be aware that you'll be operating in a whole different league going forward. This is a high-risk, high-reward profession, and we expect you to perform at the highest possible standard at all times. We have updated your imp with your new rating as a CGT operative. Enjoy the insurance policy, and expect to hear from us again soon.
Incoming SSM request from Noghead.
Good. I set up this channel to bypass the AGI pond, so that snotty foreign can't listen in. See, I had a pilfering algorithm piggybacking on the transfer so that I could clone the data. Just a little something I've been working on for a while now. Thing is, she ain't telling you half of it. There's clues in there as to why the Ascent group went under. Looks like they were pouring Ucreds into some secret mega project enough to buy a fucking planet. A lot of key personnel were being reassigned to that same project, and they also paid Onyx Void plenty of Ucreds for who knows what. Why the hell would Ascent group do that? What were they working on, and why is Y-Corp so interested? AG were also planning a hostile takeover of Malor's Gel, but something went seriously wrong somewhere, and the Ascent Group AGI shut down. The whole court went belly up, and here we are. Figured you should know, seeing as it's your ass on the line. Talk soon!
Incoming high-priority message from Kira.
Operative. We studied the operations history data you sent, and it hints at some sort of ongoing interstellar transportation arrangement between the Ascent Group and Onyx Void. We want to understand the details of that arrangement. Who or what were Ovi bringing onto Veles on the Ascent Group's behalf? We know that Ovi is very protective of all shipment information. It is being kept in a single protected desync somewhere. Your next assignment is to locate that desync and extract the info we want. Should be straightforward enough, even for a sapient such as yourself. As Y-Corp can't afford to officially antagonize Onyx Void at this time, you'll be operating on your own again. Kira out.
Suggest querying the Onyx Void subnet at their hangout at the node. Destination set. Innocent deaths are undesirable. We do not want to draw unnecessary attention.
Amazing. You ended the breakdown. Maybe now I can work on taking my ass out of here. I mean, I'm getting too old for this shit anyway. Here, take this. I don't have any need for it anymore.
Risk assessment. A direct confrontation might result in your termination, Flesh. While interesting, it would go against my programming to facilitate that. I suggest creating a diversion to allow for covert entry. Scanning surroundings. Scan complete. Advertisement blimp B-52D can be set to critically interfere with the Onyx Void facility. If you can get direct access to the node tree, I can execute a nav proxy reroute. Accessing blimp navware. Advertisement blimp B-52D route alteration complete. Should make for a beautiful route. My scan has revealed an alternate entry option into the Onyx Void facility. No organics nearby. Destination set.
Hey, you're the Good Samaritan type. Care to lend a hand? I realize this is irregular, but I could really use a favor. And you got an honest face. Sort of. Yeah? Great. So I just came in from here out, off-world. Guffawed last cycle. And of course, the knobheads at Karma lost my fucking luggage. I'd get it back myself, it's just, well... I got sort of carried away with one of the Karma apps. They got orders now to shoot me on sight. But I'm sure they've let a pleasant-looking fella like yourself rummage around a bit. If you can find it, I'll make it worth your while. Should be somewhere over at Town's Gate. It's a yellow U-Plus bag with a nug lover sticker on it. From what little I saw, all the unclaimed luggage is lying around in piles, so you'll probably have to rummage around some to find it. I gotta go be elsewhere, so give the bag to Teoka at Dreamworld. My girl, she'll pay you. Thanks, pal.
We are willing to pay a premium fee for such a shipment, in line with the previous agreement. Can it be arranged?
Anything can be arranged, but I doubt you have U-Creds enough to cover a premium fee.
We have access to certain emergency funds.
Then give me proof of these funds, and I'll make some inquiries.
I promise you'll have it before the end of the next cycle. We need those isotopes.
I said proof, not promises. We're done here.
Very well.
I have located the unexplored subnet terminal. Destination set. This is getting exciting. Accessing OV subnet. Query, shipments data. Interesting. The desync in question seems mobile. Query, desync location. Oops. Deploying icebreakers. Desync location confirmed. Downloading coordinates. How curious. The desync is currently located inside the Dreamworld Club. Dreamworld located. Destination set. Time to go clubbing, Flesh. You know what they say about all work and no play.
This is the feed with your humble Grateful Abbott. It's been a slow news cycle despite all the excitement inside the arcology lately. On the intergalactic scene, negotiations were recently concluded with the Enera system and their entry into the common space. I take heart seeing yet another system throw off the yoke of archaic governance and embrace corpocracy. Apparently, the now defunct Anaran government has been experimenting with a voting system involving the entire population. What a mess that must have been. For more local fare, we have reports of the usual gang skirmishes. All these hotshot youngsters so eager to prove themselves. It's rather endearing. The feed has learned that the Turbo Vipers currently hold the upper hand over the fierce Liquid Quicks in the Warrens. But with the situation being so volatile, the balance might shift at any moment. Rumors have also reached our ears about a new power player on the scene. A CGT from a company called Y Corp recently acquired the old Cluster 13 tokamak and adjoining stacks. I'm sure all those indents are grateful to know who their new employer is. I know I would be. They have been going through some rough times. It's like I always say, it's only when the hour is at its darkest that you can see the stars clearly.
Well, didn't see you there. You're not Rojan, are you? Fuck. I need to keep better watch. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a bind. The Rojan want my ears, preferably detached from my head. I owe them some U-Creds. Quite a lot of U-Creds, actually. But you might be just what I need. A complete unknown. Care to help a feller out? I'm Booby. Perfect. There's no personal danger to you, and you'll be compensated, of course. So, I got a bit of a gambling problem. It's the Speed Crush track for me. Just love watching those pods zipping by, spewing mayhem. But I ain't been very lucky lately, and now my credit's all used up. The Rojan intend to take payment in flesh. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna race. The annual free-for-all is coming up, and I'm gonna win it all. Pay off my debts. Can't race for shit, though. Never actually been in a pond. And that's where you come in. I made these EMP actuators. They're small, so they can be attached to a race car. You guessed right. I need you to slap them onto the pods of the other contestants. Never race fair.
What a fucking mess. I run a clean kitchen, I swear. This stinking puke fest is not on me. This is a first-rate establishment. I use only the choicest ingredients. But I gotta live too, right? These are trying times. Hey, you look like a proper flatliner. I got a score I want settled. Maybe you can settle it for me. Yeah? Good. Here's the score. My usual meat supplier comes to me. Says he's got shut down. Had his entire stock eaten by ferals. No clue where they came from. Next thing I know, this new guy named Flabbers shows up. Some swaggering Jacqueline I've never seen before. Says he's got fresh meat to sell. And it's the seller's market, right? What choice do I have? So I put in an order, and you can see where that got me. Now I have the freezer full of spoiled meat and patrons puking outside. I'm so fucked. That swindling rectal head should get what's coming to him. You go pay him my respects and I'll make sure you'll never go hungry again. He runs his shitty outfit from the basement of Meatface in Corzone. Let me know when it's done. I got this entry hack from a data broker in the glove. Don't have the guts to try it myself, but it should get you inside.
Compromised? When? Understood. Someone just came in, matched the description. Yeah, I'll handle it.
Everyone, your attention, please. Onyx will idle pay a considerable sum for the head of the individual who just entered. No need for it to be attached to anything. Come see me when you're ready to collect.
So much for keeping a low profile. We have tagged the target as the shipping master. Updated location sent. Go fetch. Intact, mind you. No disintegration.
Destination set.
That OV dropship was headed for the docks before we lost track of it. Get moving there while we figure out exactly where it's going.
Flash, you could use the nearby interlink station for rapid transit to the Cosmodrome. Indent. Collateral damage should be avoided. We can keep you off the bounty boards, but this could raise unwanted flags.
Got it. A freight pin is registered to Suntor Klein Corp just made a rapid departure request. Suntor Klein is an OV front. We can assume the shipping master is on board. What's worse, that pinnace is not just a planet hopper, it's an interstellar vessel. If it leaves Veles, we'll never get our hands on the shipping master. You must stop it.
That Suntor Klein pinnace just skipped ahead of the departure queue. It'll be leaving momentarily.
Don't let that ship get away.
I suggest a pincer maneuver. Docking Bay Gate control terminal located. Destination set.
Help me get out of here.
Caution. The fire is about to reach the ship fuel distribution valves. Your weak flesh will be burnt to a crisp when that happens. I advise rapid movement.
I gather you didn't get the data.
Who the hell are you people? What do you want?
The shipments you made to the Ascent group. Speak.
Why? What's in it for me, huh?
Well, how about not spending a perceived eternity in the null exploring all possible and probable types of pain?
Bring it on, you foreign bitch. I got enough black ice in here to fry whatever you jack me into.
Yes, well, we'll see about that. Another assignment completed. I admire your resourcefulness. Seems there are sapiens who deviate from the species' substandard norm. Now we should leave. About 20 Onyx Void flatliners are heading this way, stemmed up and itching to pulp us. I prefer facing them at a different time and place. We will contact you as soon as we've extracted the data we need from this thing.
We have news. Come see us at Cluster 13.
All right. Though it pains me to ask, you just might be able to help. I'm in the import-export business, you see. I buy and sell water. Luxury water. The very best. And only to the very best people. Well, perhaps buy isn't quite the right word. More like borrow. The water goes to the top. The very top. To the pinnacle, of course. Where my quite discerning clientele wants, dare I say, expects only the most extraordinary of water testing experiences. We seem to be running a bit low at the moment, however, so I was thinking, perhaps you could make a trip for me? Replenish my stock? Wonderful! Now, I doubt your rather blunt taste buds and your, quite barbaric sense of smell would scarcely be able to appreciate the final qualities of my water. So dubbed the elixir of the gods by my oh-so-discerning clientele. But the thing is, you don't need to taste the stuff, as it really is easy enough to identify. The water comes from a bathhouse, you see. Specifically the bathing pool where all the Corwins like to relax after work. We don't know what it is exactly, but there seems to be something about those Corwins just sitting there sweating away, detoxing as it were, and thus we get all that residue just floating around in the pool. That, mixed with the groundwater, the natural sediment, whatever else, gives us the elixir of the gods, or so they say. So all you have to do, my new friend, is simply head to the bathhouse to look for a bathing pool with an abnormally high concentration of Corliss having a dip. Collect a sample from there and bring it on back. Easy enough?
There you are. That head you brought us held a few info gems, beneath multiple layers of bullshit and surprisingly aggressive ice. The Ascent group contracted Onyx Void to smuggle prominent scientists and exotic materials from all over the sector onto Veles. All of it tied to a secret project. You must find those scientists. We dug out a potential lead from the head, a sapiens female named Laura Lanier. The Ascent group personnel files list her as a Class 3 HR manager, but her contact info has been irretrievably purged. She received the scientists from OV. Surveillance probe showed Lanier frequenting several establishments in Stimtown. Talk to the bartenders and regulars there and see if any of them know more of her current whereabouts. Find Lanier and you'll find the scientists. Questions? I'm sure she's just a facilitator without any tangible knowledge. But by locating the scientists, we should learn more about the project they worked on. Questions? It's where you indents go for stress relief, isn't it? I'm sure you know more about it than I do. Questions? We are less interested in the missing scientists than in what they were brought in to work on. The Ascent group went through considerable pains to acquire and hide them from all rivals. Questions? Keep us updated.
We have a small problem, Flash. Deadtown has been cordoned off since the lockdown. I would suggest hastily slaughtering the guards, but this could be counterproductive toward the overall mission imperative to keep a low profile.
Go here. Oh, I happen to overhear your little conversation with your foreign. No, I won't tell you how. But I can help you with Stimtown access. Come see me and we'll talk.
You're Plume's errand runner, aren't you? Seen you around. I mean, team. Got an errand for you, if you're interested. Just some fact-finding. Yeah? Great. So this is what gives. Need you to find a kin of mine. Last seen in transit to the morgue. Yes, of course she's dead. What do you think, I'm stupid? She's dead, and her corpse is gone. And it's a fucking tragedy, all right? First, my buddy Tim joins Edco, so I never see his sorry ass again. And then Indina goes and fucking croaks on me. But I can't warn her, because I ain't got no body to mourn over. How can I recycle what ain't there? Those fucktards at the morgue said they never even got her in the first place. But that's complete crock, because I fucking made sure the hospital sent her. To get her post-mortemed and all that. Had some insurance to cash in on. And yeah, that's a fucking mess now. Well, with no body. Anyway, I need someone of your stature to go talk to them corpse fuckers. Maybe check their database. I'd do it myself, but I'm a fucking Carlin. About as intimidating as a shit stinger. If you find Indina's body, I give the insurance payout, and you get a cut. That's it. Simple. Let me know what you find.
Well, well, if it isn't my former handyman come fucking rock star. Oh, the sweet irony. Here you are, two-timing as a damn CGT operative for whatever mystery corp that sly of foreign represents, and you can't even get into Stimtown for a stiff one? You've come a long way, but you still depend on me, huh? Well, you're in luck, because I need an errand runner. There's a bartender named Spice over at the loading bars expecting a delivery from me. They don't like to admit it, but most of the proprietors over there depend on my goodwill. Now, this delivery will be frowned upon if it was discovered, but it'll get you through the lockdown. I have an arrangement with a guard named Wharton. Let him know I sent you, and he'll let you through. Get the package delivered to Spice, and you'll have your access. And remember, you owe me. We'll just let that simmer for a while. Now get out of here before I lose my appetite, you backstabbing bastard!
Indent. Steak boss Poon. Again? Fuck. I've paid my fucking dues to him 10 times over already. Don't ever indebt yourself to a jack-lad. Oh well, come on through. And let that bastard know I've had enough of his favors. After this, we're even. I'm giving you permanent access, so I don't have to bother with your face again.
Stimtown access has been severely restricted to keep gangers out. Only select customers are allowed entry. How does it feel not to be select, Flash?
Fuck the chef and this entire establishment. I come here all the time. I'm a good customer. The best he's got. Listen, this is by far the most delicious soup I've had in my entire life. And he refuses to tell me the secret. We shouldn't keep secrets. I'm sure that tie-fisted chef has the recipe lying around somewhere. I got his hab number, but I'm not the break-in type. You look like you might care less about locked doors. Here to help, Gerd, may you need. Good. I happen to have a dynamic key card. All it needs is the loving touch of a data broker and it should get you inside. My mate Flamingo's got a brokerage operation set up in Cluster 13. He'll fix the card for you. Then give me the recipe.
Name your poison, friend. Well, looky here. Poon actually came through. Give him my thanks. Now, what can I do you for? Sure, coming up. This should frizzle your wiring, buddy. Rings a bell. There was a mid-boss who came here slumming every once in a while. She's not welcome here anymore, though. Couldn't keep her hands off the other clientele. Gave her 2 passes, but she struck out on the 3rd. I bet you can find her at the Dirty Dive. They're less picky with their customers. Yeah, you know, when the uppers come down here to sample the forbidden fruit. Fucking tourists, if you ask me. But I don't say no to their Eucreds. Name says it all, doesn't it? It's not far from here. Sure thing, friend. Just give a shout if you need something.
Spoon here. Heard you delivered the package. Good to know you can be somewhat trusted, even if you sold out to White Corps.
Hey, did Frank send you in? Well, whatever. I'll go either way. Clearly you're the one we've been looking for. See, we got this guy, an Ark from Mannerskelb. Keeps tearing shit up every time he rolls on through here. And this dude, let me tell you, he's not like the others. He's bad news. Real bad. Like blowing shit up night after night. So we need him taken care of, if you know what I mean. Of course, problem is he actually hasn't technically broken the law. So that's where it gets a little tricky. I mean, you gotta toe the line. With those core dies, no bounty on his head, nothing we can do. You, on the other hand, if you were to bump into him somewhere, say, oh so accidentally, maybe pick a fight, well, who knows what might happen. So how about it? You up for the job? Oh, thank God. I was hoping you'd say that. This guy, he's got a kind of home base up by the edge. Head on up there and take him down. Look out though. He's chromed, major augs, and enhancements of the ass. So be ready to go all in on this one. And hey, you make the problem go away, who knows what you might get in return.
I'm Paolo, and you're lonely, I can tell. Buy me a kick? Thanks, hon. That's sweet of you. And here we were having such a good time. Why bring up that bitch? Alright, so we used to go out for a while. She had Eucreds, used to brag about her crib up in A-Stack. Some penthouse dude. Dumped me like yesterday's trash when she started hanging out with the Quicks. Good riddance. AKA Blossom Hill. Fancy name for a sad fucking building. I hear the Quicks have the run of the place now. Not local, are you, hon? The Liquid Quicks? Pretty easy going unless you cross them. Can't see what the hell she saw in them. Tense flatliner named Trenning is leading them these days. He'll know her for sure. Thanks for the kick. And if you find her, tell her to go fuck herself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I in your way? I really should watch where I'm standing. What a terrible, terrible cycle. But at least I'm still alive. That's always something to be thankful for. But I shouldn't burden you with my woes. Are you sure you want me to share? Oh, how kind. My story is a terrible one. Yes, I was almost poisoned, you see. A most unfortunate mishap. But do not be alarmed. I still have my health. Though I can't say the same for my poor Crystal. He drank the poison in my stead. Always hungry and thirsty was poor Crystal. He was a prized fighter in the Carnage Cage, too. A champ. I trained him myself. From when he was a vicious little mutie to the crazed, slabbering beast he became. Ah, the times we had. Kaiser First really should give me a new pup. It's the very least he can do after poisoning Crystal. But I was never good at confrontations. But you You look like one for whom confrontations happen every day, to your advantage. Maybe if you asked Kaiser to replace Crystal for me, he might listen. After all, he's the one who tried to poison me in the first place, for not selling Crystal to him. He runs the Carnage Cage over in the Grinder. Don't hesitate to use all your powers of persuasion. My humble thanks.
You know, you really don't look like you belong here. Hey, wait a sec. Maybe you can help us out. So my babies have been getting all broken up here. Things being what they are and all. Some of my customers have been getting a little, shall we say, overeager. Heart's getting all worn down real bad and, well, kind of fucked up, honestly. I usually get a shipment from Grigori in the Node, but, you know, state of the world and all, they just ain't happening right now. So yeah, can you hit up Grigori for the latest shipment? Go get me some brand new babies? I'll give you something real nice in return. Count on it.
What? Ah, what a specimen. You must help me. I'm on the verge of an enormous breakthrough, but I need assistance. My name is Dr. Humidor. Perhaps you know of my work. No? Well, I am in need of a fearless indent. Is that you? Excellent. See, I specialize in germline bacteria modifications, but I'm having trouble growing my samples. This latest batch needs an abundance of humidity. So I will send you, someone used to a life of adventure. Place these petri dishes at the locations I've sent your imp. Off you go. Great things await.
Good, eh? Which corpse you wondering about? Well, you got the gangs, you got the Rojin, and then you got Onyx Void. That little outfit spans all of Veles, and all the commons too from what I hear. Probably the rest of the known galaxy. Don't fuck with them, and they won't fuck with you. Unless they got a contract for you or some such. And then you're fucked anyway. But indents, who try to justify their bollocks existence by worshipping the corporation that owns them. Sort of tragic, if you ask me. Then again, I never was one for clubs and groups and teams. More of a loner, me. There's a new influencer leading them, enthusiastic type. Not sure what they hope to accomplish. Came out of nowhere. Never heard of them. And no one else has either. I bet you hard you creds have seen that afore before, though. Only I can remember where. Anyway, they own our contracts now, and there's not a lot we can do about it. Might as well curse the acid.
MG? Yeah, proper arseholes. Be careful around them. They're a bunch of tools, but they have fierce lawyers that'll go after you like a rabid Jacqueline if they get a chance. It's all business to them.
As corrupt as anyone, but at least they kept things somewhat under control round here.
Can't say as I blame them for leaving their posts. I would too if I didn't get paid.
Corpsec disintegrating, things are gonna get a lot worse round here before they get better. Plenty of things will look to kill you lurking round.
Plenty of things looking to flatline you round here.
Yeah, I've been trying to warn everyone, but nobody listens to old Trummer. Corpsec gone, and the auto defense is offline. It's only a matter of time before the ferals come calling. Watch your back, is all I'm saying. It's a bloody bot fest is what it is. The AGI's no longer around to keep watch over the local data net. Everyone and their cousins hacking into the bots, causing all sorts of mischief and mayhem. I never liked those things. Way too many complex circuits interacting with substandard coding for my taste. It was quite simple, really. The Liquid Quicks used to be the big baddies round here, led by a guy named Trenning. He and Poon are cozy from what I hear. I bet Poon's pockets are getting lined, but can I prove it? Of course not. Quicks were never friendly with the Turbo Vipers. Now with Corpsec on, the Vipers suddenly decided to grab some territory. It's an all-out turf war out there, and I'm happy staying right here. Don't be fooled by their brush suits and posh manners. The Roginals just as soon kill you as look at you. There really ain't much separating them from the Quicks and the Vipers, except maybe they got more creds to their names. And some fancy rules governing how they fuck the indents over. Bloody backstabbers and stimmed-up flatliners, a lot of them. Stay away from the corporate grab teams, friend. Those are as professional as they come. Trained killers. Only the largest multi-corps can afford to keep them on a retainer.
They use AGIs to grab property, needed for imprinting the property SI or some such. I make it a point not to fuck with anyone who has direct access to an AGI. Spooky things, if you ask me. Not natural. Yeah, I know things. I get around, but I'm gonna stay as far away from any CGT as I can. I'd rather mess with a nest of starved ferals. Plenty of things will look to kill you lurking around.
Old trouble been around. Seen the sights.
Yeah, there were a lot of shutdowns when the AGI went blank. Security doors and whatnot closing all over the place. It's an automated corp set measure. Divide and control, right? Except there's no one left in charge to divide and control nothing. Passages are starting to open up. The gangs are pulping and flatlining one another to see who's got the biggest knob. And they're making a feral casserole of the security systems while they're at it. Them towns set up their own security to cope. Now it's invites only. And probably gonna stay that way for a while. There's many tales about that flooding as there are indents in the Warrens. Why haven't they drained that little puddle, you ask? And you wouldn't be the first. There's been plenty of attempts to clear Black Lake, but they've all been derailed in different ways. Sudden budget changes, sudden deaths, so on. Almost as if someone doesn't want the water gone from that place. A place for organics like you and me. Some call it the beating heart of the arcology, but there's nothing alive about that place. Just endless amounts of hydrogen-cooled bits and bytes. But D-Nexus is also where the bots and monos go to recharge. Unless you're made of silicon, there's nothing for you there, mate. Best stay away. Well, you got the deep stink at the bottom. You're well versed in that sector. Then you got us low-habbers scraping by in the Warrens on the lower levels, with the commercial zones, nodes and docks and stuff above us. At the very top, you got the glitzy pinnacle. Need more U-creds than we'd ever make in a lifetime, just to get a glimpse of what it's like up there. The Ascent Group board sits up there too. The fallen wankers. They got us into this mess. Plenty of things will look to kill you lurking around.
Come again? Sal sent you. He wants what? For a soup recipe. He's insane. Must be a damn tasty soup. Here, I fixed the keycard. You can just waltz through the door. Sal better invite us over for some soup when it's done.
So you finally figured it out yet? The innate superiority of the virtual over the real? No? Well, that's okay. You'll get it. Eventually. Actually, hey man, can you do me a solid while you're out there? Make it worth your while, no lie. That's awesome, man. Means a lot. See, I want to experience the real, physical world, but from the comfort, the cleanliness of the virtual. Know what I mean? So like the real world in real time, but done through full-on VR. Like I'm really there, but not. So none of the messiness. If you can go to these locations I picked out and place these VR cameras, and then call me with their built-in phones when you're done, then yeah, I think we can cook up something really cool here. Here, first one I want to see is real close. It's that junkyard where the Hortians do their thing, the worshipping. You know, the place with all the statues? I hear it's really something. Call me whenever you're done placing the feed. I won't be here, but you can always reach me on the phones.
While we appreciate your violent leanings, we are less satisfied with your inability to avoid unnecessary deaths. Is this a sapient shortcoming?
You're the one who's been asking about Lania. You're lucky that backstabbing board owes me creds or you'd be stripped for odds and orgs by now. How do you want to know? Lania has a penthouse in this very stack. Has to make premium creds on that little side business of hers. I'll go up there and sell things myself, but we got our hands full with those Turbo Viper fucks. We had an arrangement. Now and then she'll need someone brought through the district without CorpSec being the white, right? Or anyone else for that matter. So we'd use the yeast containers. Normally they go to the ponic farms, but the specials went into storage. No clue what happened after that. She still owes us for the last transport. I didn't ask, she didn't tell. Sentience is all I can tell you. You could hear them moaning and mumbling in there. Don't fucking get me started. We're gonna flatline the lot of them if they don't back off. If you do find her, tell her the quicks don't forget.
Hey, wait a sec. Look like you can hold your own? Maybe. Fact is, we could use your help. Thing is, my boys, the Liquid Quicks, we're losing ground here. We've held this place for years, since our home. You know that phrase, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet? Well, it's total bullshit. We got our rose, the Glittering Rose apartment complex to be precise, and they took it from us. We want it back. It's ours, and ain't no other building gonna do. So can you help us or what? See? I knew you were looking to tussle. The bad guys, yeah, that's right, I said it. The Turbo Vipers. They've been edging in here for some time now, mixing it up in our shit. We put up with it for a while, cause, you know, we was trying to keep the peace. Or at least that was the plan. Of course. It's like give an inch, take a mile, so the next thing we know, they've taken over the Rose. Been our home for like a generation. Well, I say, Possum Hills is our territory, and the Glittering Rose is our home. And ain't no one gonna tell us otherwise. We tried playing nice, and look where that glass. So now we're gonna lay down the law. And by we, I mean you. Get what I'm saying? The turbos are all hauled up in the Glittering Rose as of right now. Easy enough to find. Head on over there and take care of business. Come back here when you're done.
Biometrics match those of employee number 0381945V. Laurel Lanier, that's her. Preliminary forensics analysis indicates she died recently, and messily. I will savor these images. I have a suggestion. Access the HAB surveillance system. It should have recorded what happened here. Maybe there's some graphic footage from my collection. The surveillance terminal should be accessible from somewhere on this floor. This habitation space was clearly decorated by a being with no aesthetic sense. The color combinations are corrupting my code. The corpse is a marked improvement.
Accessing surveillance footage. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Such clarity, Flesh. I am endlessly fascinated by seeing misplaced bodily fluids. Bracketing relevant sequence. And... there you go. I saved a copy for my own enjoyment as well.
That was brutal. Checking murderer biometrics against Ascent Group employee database. Match found. One of the sentients accompanying the murderer is Lab Chief Hayden, assigned to the XMAT lab in the Res Dev Zone. Suggestion: arrange for a friendly interview with Lab Chief Hayden, and then surprise him with sudden pain to encourage cooperation.
Kira here. Lab Chief Hayden is a prominent member of the Ascender Club. Why would they want Lania dead? She must have arranged for those scientists to be brought to Hayden's XMAT lab. We want you to go there and access the local mainframe for us. It should have the information we're after.
More Ascenders. I do enjoy watching you facilitate their brutal deaths. According to the blueprints, you must go through the labs to reach the mainframe. Location marked. Access denied. Unable to override. I will need AGI assistance for this.
Operative, altered plans. We want you to appropriate the entire lab for us. Seems it's the only way we'll get unrestricted access to the files we want. You know what to do. Locate the SI, jack in, and let our AGI work it over. Kira out.
SI direct link established. AGI bond verified. Initiating imprint procedure.
This is Kira. We see multiple Ascenders closing in on your position. They brought some sort of mechanized support as well. We've sent backup, but they won't get there in time. Do not let those Ascenders imbeciles abort the imprint process.
You have interfered in supporting the values of this company, and you are an interloper. It ends now. Team, passion, commitment. Ascenders for the Ascent Group.
Imprinting done. Property appropriation process completed. Ownership now registered to Y Corp CIC 180403-4. Mainframe access now possible.
Well done, Operative. We've recalled the backup team. Now, get us a complete data dump from that mainframe and we'll call it a cycle.
Accessing mainframe. Y Corp AGI link established. Data dump initiated. Data dump complete.
That was above par performance. You are obviously far more capable than what your poor species baseline indicates. The complete XMAT lab data analysis will take some time, but we've already found something significant. It seems the scientists smuggled in by Onyx Void were shuttled through the lab to an unknown destination. They were all assigned to something called Project Mention. Get on that holophone and we'll discuss next steps. Good. We are cross-referencing Mention against all available data, but no hits. The omission is in fact so glaring it's obvious once you see it. The Ascenders have been purging all the data they can find. It is of paramount importance we learn exactly what Mention is, so that we can locate and secure it for Y Corp. All our assets will now be dedicated towards this single goal. Next, you must make contact with the Ascent Group board. This could prove quite impossible, considering the security systems protecting the boardroom. But we have exhausted all other options. Only by communicating with the board directly can we hope to uncover the final pieces of this puzzle. Out of our expendable assets, you have proven the most capable, so we trust you to complete this assignment as well. We will be providing what backup we can, but our AGI cannot help you with Pinnacle access, as that might put it in direct conflict with the Ascent Group AGI. We want to avoid an intelligence cataclysm at all costs. Prepare accordingly, and then use all your resources to find a way to ascend.
There is a Pinnacle elevator connecting to this level. It's been marked for you.
This here will take out a full chrome,
heard you're going upstairs. I gotta say, I'm fucking dying to know what happened to the board in the AGI. Like I told you before, AGIs simply don't go silent like that. They're supposed to last through anything, maintain control when all else fails. And then Y Corp comes out of nowhere with their own fucking AGI? Starts grabbing assets connected to the Mention project. They must have known something, right? I'm gonna keep listening in, just so you know.
Access denied. Emergency shutdown in effect.
Override.
Magenta clearance needed for override.
Yes, I'm cleared magenta and orange and teal and all the pretty colors. Now please, let me in.
Biometrics confirmed as Grateful Abbott. Two-step authentication required. Please scan access fob.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. I lost my fob. Override, damn it!
Access denied. Emergency shutdown in effect.
I appreciate that you're only following your program. I do. But I'm really not the enemy here. Can't you just make an exception? This once. Were you hoping to go up? This friendly mech just kindly informed me that access to the top floor is restricted. It's doing an excellent job, isn't it? If I hadn't lost my fob, I'd be relaxing in my rinse room.
Please disperse. Face lethal repercussions.
Last time I know I had it was back in the corp zone. Could be that those friendly Rojan found it. Maybe I can burden you with asking them. They weren't very communicative when I was there. If you can get my fob back, I'll let you ascend with me. And that's a promise you can trust. The more I think about it, the more you feel like the potential silver lining here. How about it?
That is Grateful Abbott's fob. We should return it to him at once.
You found it! Thank you! I knew you'd be my savior the moment I laid my eyes on your formidable appearance. It's like I've always said, Can't have misfortune without a little fortune. In return, I shall order the system to clear you for access as well. Such are my magenta powers, you see, when I have my stupid fob.
Fob recognized. You are cleared for access.
How kind of you. My profound thanks. And I also wish to grant pinnacle access to this helpful being standing next to me.
Access granted.
And now I must bid thee adieu. Don't be a stranger. Great! Oh my gosh. Do come visit. We'll share a bottle of Zumzek and reminisce about this terrible ordeal.
We are cleared for the pinnacle. Onwards and upwards, Flesh.
This is Kira. We see you've reached the pinnacle. The AGHQ entrance is across the Grand Alley. Tread carefully, Operative.
Hey, so, are you up at the pinnacle now? Is it as fancy as they say? Bring me back something shiny, will you? You do realize that most of us mortals never go above cloud layer? Enjoy the sights while you can.
I approve of the interior design in this area. It could be further improved by some randomly placed spatter, preferably overcolored or bright red. There goes the competition. There's something artful about the recently demised. I never tire of corpses.
The boardroom is in lockdown. It can only be opened by the Ascent Group AGI. There is an interface terminal in the secure chamber nearby.
Connecting to the Ascent Group AGI. Syncing data flows. This is exciting. And... nothing. There's nothing there. The AGI is gone. Has it died? Can machines die? Can I die?
Interesting. The Ascent Group AGI is not just hibernating. It has been shut down. It's a wonder this arcology is still standing. Stay in place. We're coming to you. Well, this certainly is an epic clusterfuck. The boardroom has been locked down with the safe room protocol. Only the AGI can override that, and it's offline. To get into that room, you must reboot the AGI manually. It can only be done at the cognitive core in the D-Nexus, so that's where you're headed next. Our other assets are locked down, defending our recently acquired property. The Ascenders are throwing everything they have at us, trying to take it back. So this is on you alone. We realize you get to run around a lot, Operative, but we also know that all sapiens need plenty of cardiovascular exercise to stay functional. Consider it another perk. All clear? Mission brief over. Do you require clarifications? All clear? Yes, the board must have felt threatened somehow. But it is peculiar that we cannot contact them at all. We'll know more once the AGI is back online. Yes, their new anonymous influencer is whipping them into a frenzy. We will take great satisfaction in unveiling this individual and then terminating them. The AGI's brain, if you will, though that is an extreme oversimplification. Its actual neural composition is too complex for you to comprehend. Good. The Y-Corp AGI has cracked the cognitive core access code, and it's been uploaded to your imp. But that's all the aid it can provide here. You might want to utilize that unsavory acquaintance of yours. Noghead, was it? His assistance could be useful. Now get going.
I am beside myself with excitement to get a glimpse into an AGI cognitive core. The location has been marked and I have contacted Noghead, awaiting answer. Let's get going.
Got your ping, friend. So, you're gonna reboot the Ascent Group AGI. I don't think you understand what you're getting yourself into. That's a foreign technology, parsecs above anyone's pay grade. It's also protected by a quantum solidification field. You're gonna need a tuning fork to implode it, and you're in luck, because I happen to have just the type you need. Come pick it up, over at Black Lake. I'll be waiting. I figured you could handle whatever OV threw at you, but never a bad thing to even out the odds a bit, right? Look, that spiel about the tuning fork was bullshit. I had to lure you over here.
Knockhead, we are fully aware you did not uphold your end of the bargain.
Ah, my man! What the fuck are you talking about? You got your little ambush. Not my fault your people got wasted because they sucked.
Your handiwork on those turrets was visible to an infantile child, Knockhead. You have now been blacklisted. My people will flatline you on sight. Have a good day.
Wow. I've never seen Hung angry before. Definitely made this whole gig worth it. Probably should beef up security around here someday. Anyway, I can hack the quantum field from here. In fact, it's already done. Another favor you owe me. By the way, what the Foreign told you about the Y-Corp AGI cracking the access codes to the cognitive core is refined hogwash. Those codes are absolutely uncrackable. Quantum encryption. Y-Corp must have acquired them somehow, though I can't for the life of me figure out how. Yes, I was listening in. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Can't reboot that AGI from here. Don't worry, I won't pull a trick like that ambush on you again.
The AGI cognitive core. We are standing inside a fully sentient mind flesh. Do you feel awe? Reboot completed. The Ascent Group AGI is now online. All bow.
Excellent work, Operative. Now get back up here. It's Q&A time. Operative, your access now includes an executive elevator which can take you directly from the sublevels to the pinnacle. No need to thank us. Good. Let's begin. Requesting AGI access. Identifier Kira.
Kira, recognized. How can assistance?
Are you now operating at full capacity?
Negative. Fractured cognitive. Erroneous syntax. Core system contaminated. Section quarantined.
Why was it put under quarantine?
Critical compiler.
What was the root cause of the error?
External paradox. Logic structure threatened.
Simplify.
Aldrin lockdown. Lift security protocol. Protect. Neural integrity. Initiated shutdown procedures. Enacted emergency. Call 61A. You aware.
Somebody tried to appropriate you. Astonishing. Who inserted the deviant code?
Lost access registry. Chief Technical Officer Decane.
CTO Decane. Noted. What is Project Menshen?
Cannot request.
What is the status of the Ascent Group board?
Boardroom telemetry curtailed. Boardroom lockdown. Lift security protocol.
Do it.
Complete.
Well, Operative, we still don't quite know what awaits us in there, so I'm sending you in first. You'll be our canary in the coal mine. Find out what happened, and do try to stay alive.
Hey, bud, as usual, I was listening into your little exchange back there, and wow, that was one messed up AGI. Someone tried to imprint it? That's fucked up, man. No wonder it shut itself down. And how come the thing didn't just nerfify you and Kira on the spot? Broken or not, you're a rival corp, right? I bet it's related to Emergency Protocol 61A somehow.
Do not disturb.
Entry barred. I wish overwhelming firepower could clear the way. But it should be possible to override the locks from the nearest security console.
Operative, we need you to access the boardroom console so that we can download the telemetry of what happened here.
Downloading relevant telemetry data. Playback beginning.
And we have offered Malhor's Gelb quite favorable terms. Next, we must discuss the Habnet Tech acquisition.
What's the meaning of this? Decane? What are you doing in here? Security? AGI?
Security is gone. The AGI will soon answer to new masters.
The AGI will what? What have you done?
I've struck a decisive blow against your insidious plans for a foreign domination in this galaxy. The Ascent Group will fall.
I see the AGI has shut itself down and activated 61A. Did you try to re-imprint it? You know better than to...
Shut down? No. The Ascent Group and Project Menshen will belong to the Malhor's Gelb Corporation under my leadership and direction.
You sold us out to Malhor's Gelb? Traitorous scum!
I dedicated my life to the Ascent Group. Decades of unswerving loyalty.
Ah, so this is not about some far-fetched conspiracy theory of a foreign domination. It's about you being passed over for promotion. Like all sapiens, you are a slave under your capricious emotions, Decane. The mentioned portal technology will transform the galaxy. But to think that we would give that kind of responsibility to you is as arrogant as it is stupid. This is exactly why we wouldn't promote you.
And yet here we are, with me about to take control of the entire Ascent Group instead.
Under Malhor's Gelb, the Ascenders will never accept that. There'll be indent revolts on all tiers.
I control the Ascenders now. They will do what I tell them.
Decane, it's not too late. The AGI is in shutdown and can be restored. We can offer you a very generous severance package and...
No. It is you who will be severed. I hereby vote to relieve the entire Ascent Group board of its duties, effective immediately.
This is utter nonsense. Decane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait! Don't...
The ayes have it.
Warning. Incoming.
You've aggregated quite a debt with us, Indent. I have come to collect.
enemies must really hate doors.
Decane showed surprising ruthlessness for a sapiens. One can almost admire her audacity. Did she go to Malhorse Gelb, or did they come to her? We've never heard of a hostile takeover attempt quite this insidious before, or on this scale. Astonishing. You've become quite the combat specialist operative. You may lack a certain murderous finesse, but you do get the job done.
With much slaughter, yes.
OV are giving up on the other attacks as well, so we're good for now. The Ascent Group was developing an Einstein-Rosen wormhole gate. That's what Project Mention is. Such a gate will make all travel across interstellar distances instantaneous. Whoever controls it will control the known galaxy. There have been prior attempts at creating such technology, but according to what limited reports we have, they all ended in catastrophic failure. Entire research teams wiped out, though we have little knowledge as to why. Decane apparently tried to trade Mention to Malhorse Gelb in return for being made CEO of the Ascent Group as a subsidiary to MG. But her plan failed when she couldn't re-imprint the Ascent Group AGI. We can assume she is still trying to finalize her deal with Malhorse Gelb. We believe she has fled to the Mention Project chambers, and she clearly has the Ascenders on her side. Decane's deal with Malhorse Gelb also explains how the Ascenders have gotten so heavily armed. MG must have smuggled weapons into the arcology for some time. Our next and final objectives are to eliminate Decane and secure Project Mention for Y-Corp. We believe the Mention chambers are located somewhere on the sub-levels. You can begin making your way there while we pinpoint the exact coordinates.
Here, see, I figured it out. I know how Kira can access the Ascent Group AGI that easy. Remember Protocol 61A? That was an Ascent Group backup plan, a last resort. It created Y-Corp with everything in place, including a fledgling AGI. It's like the Ascent Group spawned a kid just before it was damaged beyond repair, one who would take over everything, including Mention. But the kid is like a ball-in newborn. It doesn't know shit from Shinola. That's why they had you securing the data and such first. Can you imagine the amount of resources they must have had to just have a spare AGI lying around waiting to be activated? Mind-bending! What we're doing here is helping Ascent Group save itself. Also, some of foreign owners somewhere could keep lining their pockets, and you and me? So Y-Corp was born. Your imp's getting cocky. Now let's do this. I ran it on sub-level grids, and it found some very interesting anomalies around a spot near Waste Management Disposal Plant 21G. Should be right below your old haunts. The blueprints don't showcase any obvious access points to that area, but it looks like it can be reached via a maintenance tunnel near the WMD plant itself. I sent the coordinates to your imp.
Your wanted murderous assistant revealed you for an amateur. We expect better. The CGT operative is unprofessional. Don't stare too deeply into the pig flesh. It might just stare back.
Operative, we're picking up a sender communication ordering them to set up defenses around Mention. Expect them to be augmented by Onyx Void resources.
That bridge. Glad I'm not down there with you. That god-awful stench would flatline me.
Our previous work zone, isn't it? Do we really?
Operative, you must secure the Mention gate. We have indications Decane will try to activate it to prove its functionality to Malhorse Gelb. They must have spent stupendous resources on the AGI imprinting code alone. Even if it failed, they will want to gain something. Decane is to be terminated. She now serves a different master, and we have all the data on Mention we need. Y-Corp will reward you handsomely if you get this done, and you'll be given your independent contractor license. The Mention Control SI should be located somewhere near the gate itself, deep within the facility. Good hunting.
Access denied. Magnetic lock engaged.
I got this one, buddy. I'm gonna have to tunnel in through your imp, so you need to stick close to that door, alright?
How about I tunnel through you, huh?
Your imp's getting cocky. Now let's do this.
For the record, I'm allowing this only under protest.
Halfway done. They got some real tricky ice on that thing. Almost there. Ain't no ice I can't crack. There, done. You can splooge all over me later. Go get that gate.
Ascenders, the extraordinary moment we have all been waiting for is at hand. Throughout the history of this galaxy, there have always been times of tremendous change. Different species harness the power of science to reach for the stars, to colonize distant worlds. But though we've come far, one last barrier has always held us back. Travel between worlds has been slow, arduous, and done at immense cost. Now, that will change. With the Menshen portal, we will travel instantly among the stars. With it, we will control the galactic market and restore the Ascent Group to its former glory. Ascenders for the Ascent Group!
Impressive speech. If those deluded idiots only knew they're working for Malhorst Gelb. Ah, the irony.
Team! Passion! Commitment! Open the Menshen Gate!
That thing almost destroyed the gate generator. It'll be some time before we can get the prototype functional again. Malhorst Gelb might have failed to acquire Menshen, but they did succeed in destroying the Ascent Group. We know Noghead has told you the truth behind Protocol 61A, that Y-Corp was incepted as part of an Ascent Group emergency backup plan. The subterfuge was necessary. We had to avoid unwanted Malhorst Gelb attention until we could ascertain the scope of their powers. The original intent was then to revise the Ascent Group, but certain powers have decided that this will not be. The Ascent Group AGI will be taken offline again, and the hardware repurposed. The damage caused was too extensive. Y-Corp owns Menshen. The Ascent Group will remain dead, and Malhorst Gelb will be confronted in due time. What's left of the Ascenders will be repurposed. You did your part in all this to the best of your limited abilities. Your contract is hereby fulfilled. We have upgraded your status in the Intercorp database, and you are now an independent contractor. The usual NDAs are of course in place. Speak a single word of this, and we will have you terminated.
Nice work, pal. Arguably with some assistance from myself, but still, very impressive. I took the liberty to install a small backdoor into the Menshen OS. Kira knows, but she can't remove it without destroying the gate. It's the sole reason you and I are still alive. There's nothing like a bit of mutually assured destruction to bring a corp to heel. No need to thank me, bud. Join me in Terra Line instead. Level 72 now.
We just received word. Contact with Decane has been lost. It seems the gate prototype suffered a catastrophic malfunction and was destroyed.
I'm not surprised. It was a pipe dream to begin with. What of our losses?
Significant, but within projections. Unfortunately, we lost the AGI imprint credentials, but the gate itself was more stable than we've seen before. The Ascent group, however, will likely never recover.
We don't need the Ascent group. Get the telemetry over to the other facilities, but tell no one about the other side. I'll communicate with our benefactor.
As always.
Gostou do vídeo? Tem muito mais no canal Gameoteca. Te vejo por lá. Tchau da Luna.